Hey everyone, and welcome back. So a civil society alliance consisting of Oxfam and a few other NGOs came together to say a very poignant point about the top 1%. They say that the top 1% are warping the rules and policies that affect society. This is throughout the world, creating a vicious cycle of ever-growing and harmful undue influence. So they list a few key concerns with what the 1% is doing to undermine the interests of the 99% and progression. They say that they are increasing tax avoidance, wealth inequality, and lack of access to health care. And this is unduly influenced solely based upon the 1%. Now let me give you some examples within the United States. So the effective tax rate for the top 1% or the highest income bracket we have in the United States is effective. In practice is 39.6%, but in practice it's only 19%. That's right, the top 1%, according to Inequality for All by Robert Reich, is only 19%. What they're doing is they're avoiding taxes. Why? Because they're incredibly greedy and want their funds for themselves. 400 people are paying less taxes right now and making the most money than someone working at Wendy's, In-N-Out, basic McDonald's, places where they have less funds, but they're getting less money. In addition, talking about the just horrendous amount of wealth, the top 400 Americans, according to PolitiFact, have more money than the next half of our population. In addition, according to Ted Cruz, mind you, still right, I think, since there's more money by the top 1% than they have had since 1928. What happened the next year? Well, the Great Depression happened. So we can already see that this is very bad. All right, and lastly, a lack of access to healthcare. So we can see that the Republican Party has pushed right on the issue of healthcare. They don't want to have people having access to healthcare. Why? Because that costs extra money. And if you want to ask yourselves, well, why would the Republican Party be for that? Well, they've completely sold out to the interests of the really, really rich. Why have they done that? Because that's the best way for these politicians to make the most money. And it's kind of like everyone's doing it, so why don't they do it? They're not having an ideological discussion about, is this the right policy to take? No, they're going against it because it's the best way so that they meet their interests and that they meet their donor dollars. Now, if you disagree with me, I would love for you to say that in the comments, but you have to look at the policies. Therefore, Reaganomics, lack of access to healthcare, and a cut to social safety nets. All of these issues need a raise in the overall cost of taxpayer dollars. You need to raise taxes to do this, and obviously the 1% doesn't want to do that. They don't want to spend the money because they're greedy and selfish. In addition, we have to see here that coming from the top 4 NGOs that signed this statement, we cannot rely on technological fixes. We cannot rely on the market. And we cannot rely on the global elite. We need to strengthen the power of the people to challenge this atrocity. Alright, so here's what you guys can do, and I've said this before and I'll say it again. You have to spread the word, and you can say that, so you can spread the word through just going to social media and talking about this stuff. Just pretty much purport my video or other videos you think from more established people like the Young Turks, Secular Talk, the David Pakman Show, and hey, talk about how bad this is, and talk about how bad this is going on and how horrendous it can be for the long-term survival of our society. In addition, call up your congressional candidate, email him, talk to him about how bad this is, and tell him that you want some poignant change from him. And I know it may seem like there's not much change, but you guys can actually make a difference, because enough people calling him and telling him about it it's going to definitely make a mark on him. In addition, please vote. Voting is one of the best things. I said this in one of my earlier videos, but only 1/3 of our citizens voted in the midterm elections, and it was even lower for low-income Americans and Americans that make up, and the really, really young people. Okay, yeah, if you're 18 to 26, please vote. You're a liberal. You can make progressive change. Just because you don't think it's not working for your interests and you don't think that even a liberal candidate goes far enough, well, if you only vote for the liberal candidate and we get such a percentage of the people voting for the liberal, then the Republican Party is not going to have a chance. And the Liberal Party will then move to the right, and you'll see the progressives take shape as our new left party. That's how we're going to make change. I want to give more examples of research I compiled of what we can see about the global effects of the 1% reducing interest or kind of skewing the facts. So for instance, let's go to Zambia. Zambia has moved from a country that was once classified as poor to being officially classified as a middle income country. But if we look statistically, during that time, the absolute number of poor people has increased. So the really, really rich have gotten better, but if you look at the rest of the population, they've actually gotten poorer. In addition, India, for example, has persistently high child malnutrition rates, and South Africa has persistently high mortality rates, yet they are function of insufficient inequality in the areas. So when we look at India and we look at South Africa, we can see them as thriving, growing countries, right? But we can see that they're facing a multitude of issues stemming from the 1% undermining the ability of these governments to enact policies that help the people. And last of all, let's go to Papua New Guinea. They have the highest growth in the world this year. I didn't know that. That's very interesting. The highest growth. Yet they won't meet any of the Millennium Development Goals. You know why that is? That's because the interest and the money being made is only going to the top 1%. Maybe the top 5%, but it's the really, really rich. It's not going to our Americans. Thank you so much for signing on, guys. And if you like this video, please like, please comment, and please, please, please subscribe. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.